Hello everyone and welcome to this week's reviews. We're in the thick of award season right now, and I'll be talking about two major contenders sure to receive some attention when the Oscar nominations roll around. First is Guillermo del Toro's story about the romance between a mute janitor and a fish man. This is The Shape of Water. Del Toro has a history of making films about the creatures hiding in the shadows and telling them beautifully. The Shape of Water is definitely one of his most touching films, and key to that is the central relationship. The best scenes involve Sally Hawkins' Eliza and Doug Jones' amphibian man bonding and falling in love. It's almost like a reverse Little Mermaid, and Del Toro directs their moments together with a proper amount of sweetness. The makeup on Jones is outstanding, and Hawkins says so much with her facial expressions. It's clear how much Del Toro loves these characters and wants us to love them too. And isn't that a great feeling from a filmmaker? Adding to the beauty of the film is the excellent production design and cinematography. We feel completely transported to this mysterious laboratory, Eliza's apartment, and the cinema she resides over. I also have to mention Alexandre Desplat's score, which is just as much a character as the personalities on screen. Del Toro is also clearly commenting on the outcasts of society, and while the film is set during the Cold War, the themes can certainly be applied to today. A little on the nose? Sure, but it fits with the story being told. Richard Jenkins and Octavia Spencer provide solid support as Eliza's friends, and Michael Shannon can read a lullaby and still sound threatening. One major fault I do have with the film is the subplot with the Soviets. Anytime it cut to them, I found myself slowly losing interest. I feel like that time would have been better spent with more scenes of Hawkins and Jones bonding. Otherwise, this is a beautiful and touching fairy tale with all the elements we've come to expect and like from Guillermo del Toro. Next up is a look at Winston Churchill as he becomes Prime Minister during World War II in Darkest Hour. For the most part, Joe Wright directs this film pretty straight. Outside some flashy camera movements, he mostly seeks to show the behind-the-scenes planning and strategizing as Winston Churchill attempts to evacuate troops from Dunkirk. Yes, this is another film this year detailing that event, and it unintentionally makes for a fitting companion piece with the Christopher Nolan film. When Churchill is discussing with generals, politicians, and the king how to proceed, our minds do flash back to the other movie. And I like seeing the backdoor discussions that happened as the other members of Parliament seek to take Churchill off his perch. While the temptation would have been there to idealize Churchill, the film does go out of its way to show his flaws. Gary Oldman manages to play the multiple sides to his personality and does not merely use the makeup to transform into the former Prime Minister. When he does launch into Churchill's famous speeches, he captures the power of those words. However, my favorite scene is actually one on the subway, when he finally talks with regular folks about how they view the oncoming Nazi threat. While there are a couple of dry spots in Darkest Hour, it's the final act where the film does indeed click. It's a history lesson, but a well-made history lesson. Thank you for watching this week's reviews, and I'll see you next time.